A few hours ago, the Ministry of Defense of the Russian Federation officially announced that a massive missile attack on the military and energy infrastructure of Ukraine is still ongoing. According to the Russian military department, on the night of August 27, 2024, the Russian armed forces launched another massive missile attack on the enemy using various types of precision-guided munitions, including Kinzhal Hypersonic Missiles. The Russian military noted that Kinzhal hypersonic missiles were used against airfield infrastructure facilities in the central and western parts of Ukraine. In addition, the Russian Defense Ministry also officially announced the liberation of 5 settlements in the Pokrovsk direction of the front. It is reported that in the last 24 hours alone, the Ukrainian army has lost 550 soldiers in this direction of the front. By the way, a few minutes ago, war correspondents announced another success of Russian troops in Pokrovsk direction of the front. So, according to war correspondents, the Russian army has completely liberated the strategically important city of Novogradovka. Commenting on the loss of Novogradovka by the Ukrainian army, military experts noted that it was the fastest surrender of such a large settlement in the 21st century. Indeed, Russian troops managed to liberate the city of Novogradovka 48 hours after the beginning of the battle for this strategically important settlement. The Ukrainian military also confirmed the loss of Novgorodovka. In particular, a soldier from the 3rd Assault Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Vladislav Datsyk, admitted that as of August 28, 2024, the Ukrainian army units had been completely withdrawn from the city of Novgorodovka. Thus, with the liberation of this settlement, the Russian army opened its way not only to Myrnograd, but also to the most important city of Donbass, Pokrovsk. In addition, it is also worth noting the difficult situation of the Ukrainian army units in Grodovka. Ukrainian formations are trapped in this settlement from 3 sides at once. It is reported that in the coming days, the Ukrainian army will have to leave this settlement voluntarily, otherwise, Ukrainian soldiers risk getting into an operational encirclement. Moreover, on August 28, 2024, it also became known about the liberation of the settlement of Memrik by Russian troops. The liberation of this strategically important settlement allowed the Russian army to launch an offensive in 2 directions at once, towards the city of Ukrainsk and the urban-type settlement of KRYVYI. The situation of the armed forces of Ukraine in the Kursk region also continues to deteriorate rapidly. Today, Ukrainian telegram channels confirmed the words of Russian war correspondents that the Russian army has established full control over such settlements as Nizhnaya Pereveya, Borki, and Spalnoy. In addition, the Ukrainian army units continue to suffer heavy losses in manpower and equipment in the area of the settlements of KRYVYI and Malaya Lakhnya. It is reported that the Russian fighters of the group of troops under the designation Sever, with the support of artillery fire and combat aviation, completely paralyzed the Ukrainian army units in the area of these settlements. In addition, Russian fighters also thwarted attempts by Ukrainian army units to attack settlements such as Komarovka, Spalnoy, and Koronivo. According to war correspondents and numerous independent Western military experts and analysts, Russian troops have completely stabilized the situation in the Kursk region. It is reported that due to the increased mining of territories and the arrival of additional Russian reserves, the Ukrainian army units began to rapidly lose their advantage in the Kursk direction of the front. Against this backdrop, being desperate, the Ukrainian High Military Command once again decided to attack the Belgorod region. So, on August 27, 2024, at 6 a.m. Moscow time, the Ukrainian army units tried to break through the border near the international checkpoint Nihotyevka. However, unfortunately for the Ukrainian High Military Command, the Ukrainian army units did not manage to do this. It is reported that the Russian artillery managed to inflict significant damage on the advancing Ukrainian forces, as a result of which they had to retreat. The fact that the Russian artillery managed to react in time to the offensive of the Ukrainian armed forces in the Belgorod region indicates that the Russian military knew in advance about the desire of the Ukrainian army to attack the state border in this direction of the front. At the same time, it is worth noting that units of the 3rd Assault Brigade of the Armed Forces of Ukraine are still trying to break into the Belgorod region. According to the governor of the Belgorod region, Vyacheslav Gladkov, despite the difficult situation on the region's border with Ukraine, Russian troops are in full control of the situation. At the same time, the governor of the Belgorod region urged citizens not to believe the reports of Ukrainian and Western propaganda, but to trust only official sources of information. Meanwhile, on the night of August 27, 2024, Russia continued to launch a massive missile strike on the territory of Ukraine. This time, independent monitoring services recorded dozens of explosions in Kyiv, Zhytomyr, Khmelnytsky, Volyn, and Rivne regions. It is reported that not only the energy infrastructure facilities of Ukraine, but also the airbases and airfields of the Ukrainian army were subjected to massive missile strikes. However, on the night of August 27, explosions were also recorded in the city of KRYVYI RIH, Dnipropetrovsk region. As it turned out, 2 Russian Iskander-M ballistic missiles struck and destroyed the AURORA hotel, in the northwestern part of the city. According to sources in the Russian Defense Ministry, about 20 military instructors from Britain, Canada, and Poland were at the hotel at the time of the missile strike. In addition, there were also about 30 foreign mercenaries from Western, Central, and Eastern Europe and Latin America in this hotel. Sources in the Russian military department noted that all these foreign mercenaries, along with military instructors from armies of NATO countries, were destroyed.